Yes, it's not an actual club. It's just actual stories that are actually fun. And they're written by kids that actors tell with their mouths. And it's time to begin. It's the Story Clubhouse.
Hello and welcome to the Story Clubhouse, everybody. I am Jason Mantzoukas and I'm going to be your host tonight. If you don't know, if you're joining us for the first time, each week we choose one of our favorite stories written by a fifth grade student. We bring in some funny actors and we bring these stories to life for you, all from the comfort of our own homes, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm in my home right now. Here at Young Storytellers, we raise the voices of more than 3,000 students each year, and tonight is no different. I've performed in these performances before, both live and on the Story Clubhouse here online. It is a blast. Some of my all-time favorite parts have been written by fifth graders, and I am going to, again, use this as a platform to implore more fifth graders to write roles for me. I need the work. I'm always impressed by the stories that we do here on the Story Clubhouse. I think you are going to love this one we have tonight. So let's get into it. It's a story called The Not To-Do List by Solomon Lytle, who was a student at La Bologna. This is the name I didn't practice. La Bologna Elementary School. And he wrote this back in 2016. He was mentored by Ty Stafford. Solomon, Ty, can you please turn your cameras and mics on and join me on stage?
How's it going?
Hey there.
How's it going, guys? First things first, is it La Bologna Elementary School? Did I say that right?
La Bayona.
La Bayona. I'm sorry.
No,
My
it's all good.
apologies.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. Solomon, how is your summer going? What are you doing to stay busy? What's happening?
Well,
I see a drum set behind you. I'm not going to lie.
I haven't been hitting my drum set as much as I wanted to, but I've been using you can't see it, but I've been using my drum pad for my drum line a lot.
Yep.
We do a lot of good stuff there.
I don't want to brag, Solomon. I don't want to brag, but I was first snare in my high school marching band. Don't worry about it. So if you want to have a drum battle, the answer is yes.
I'm down. I'm 100% down.
Good. I'm glad. And you're going to high school in the fall, is that right?
Yeah. That I'm going, and it's gonna be pretty crazy.
It's gonna be wild, right? This is gonna be a wild time. Ty, I'm curious, how did you get involved with Young Storytellers?
Yeah, I heard about it through a friend in the creative community, but it was really just a testament to just hearing it from real people that have done it in the past. I think once you hear the passion behind the people who have done this already, it really rubs off on you. And I hope to be that now for other people to go out, volunteer, and become a part of this.
Yeah, exactly. It's a fantastic organization. It's exactly things like this that are helping to get the word out. Solomon, just because I know I said it earlier, but to remind us, would you tell me what is the title of this script and the tagline, if you don't mind?
The title is The Not To-Do List, and the tagline is To Do or Not To Do.
Ooh, I like it. Ooh, I love it. It's such a good tease. That's great. So I'm going to ask you guys to go hang out in the virtual green room while I bring the actors out. Enjoy, hang out. Don't trash the green room, please. Even though it's virtual, it still costs a lot of money, guys. I'm going to now invite some of the actors who are going to be performing Solomon's story here today. First things first, Thomas Middleditch, please turn your camera on, turn your microphone on. Boom, there he is. How are you, Thomas? You appear to be in a rec center.
Yeah, just hanging out my dad's rumpus room.
I was going to say, how is your summer going? But obviously you are training for the Foosball Olympics.
Yeah, my summer don't stop, Jason. It never ended.
Who are you playing today in this story, The Not To-Do List?
I will be playing one of the two tiny titans by the name of Nacho.
Okay, you will be playing Nacho. Good to know. Now, please also joining us today, Ben Schwartz. Please turn your camera and your mic on. Ben.
Wow. Hello,
Holy cow.
everybody.
Applaud yourself. You had it.
Oh, way to go.
Hooray.
I turned my camera on.
Ben, your background is not helping me in terms of jokes to make or things
Apologies.
to question you about. You neither have a drum set nor a foosball
There you
table.
go. That's something you can make fun of.
Oh, there you go. Wow, look at that. I love that. What is that? Will you tell us the story of that piece of art?
Sure. Gil Ozeri, our friend Gil Ozeri, gave this to me. It's a parrot fixing some sort of fire hydrant, and there's no explanation behind it. That's the whole story.
I
The
love
weird
it.
thing is that background behind Ben, that's his entire house.
Yep, there's nothing on.
It's-
This is it. I have no bed. I have no couch. This is just it. I like float in oblivion.
And I want to take another minute to thank Thomas for pausing his Twitch stream. I know he's in the midst of some sort of gaming scenario based on that
Always.
headset.
7.1 surround sound.
You
right in the
both
ears.
are infamous for improvising. You just put out an improv special recently. Can we count on you, though, to obey the rules of the Story Clubhouse and read this script as written by Solomon? Yes?
Yes. For
It would be
Solomon.
an
Always
honor.
for Solomon.
Always
Great.
for Solomon.
Thank you so much. And lastly, I'd like to bring Vera Lim to stage. Please, Vera, turn your camera and mic on. Hello, Vera.
Hello.
Who are you playing today, and what do you do at Young Storytellers?
I will be narrator today, and I am the training and curriculum specialist at Young Storytellers. So I get to do some fun stuff with our programming and teach kids things.
Yeah, teach kids things. Sounds great. And lastly, I am going to not, just to toot my own horn here, guys. I am going to be playing the cuckoo bird in the thing. So don't worry about it. If I'm on screen, don't freak out.
Okay.
Okay, one last thing before we get started. I'm going to ask Solomon, if you don't mind, can you please come on stage and turn your camera and mic back on? Because this night is all about you and your story, we'd like for you to stick around because you're the biggest star. Watch what's happening and be a part of it. Ty, do not turn your camera on. You stay back there in the green room. Again,
Get out of here,
please.
Ty.
Get out of here, Ty.
Ty, what are you
Scram,
doing?
Ty. Ty, scram.
Get out of
Get
here.
out of here.
Get out of here. We don't want it, Ty.
Ugh.
Oh,
Every
that
time he
guy's
comes back
the
on, his mustache is a
worst.
little bit bigger.
Yeah.
All right. So now, if everyone is ready, I will say, Vera, if you don't mind, can we start the show?
Of course, anything for you, Jason, and for you, Solomon, as well. Not to-do list, to do or not to do, written by Solomon Lytle. Interior, a small analog clock that is the home of Rudy and Nacho, two tiny titans. Morning. Rudy and Nacho wake up to start their busy day of cleaning and fixing their clock home. Rudy has a big red nose, and Nacho suffers from vertigo from time to time and tends to stumble as it makes him constantly dizzy. They simultaneously grab their to-do list and walk into the living room.
There is so much on this to-do list. How are we ever going to get this done today?
Lighten up, Rudolph. If we get started now, we can finish before the end of the day.
It's not my name.
Nacho begins to talk quickly, listing off their chores.
Okay, all we need to do is unrust the clock, paint the numbers, mop the walls.
As Nacho runs through the list, his head begins to spin, but he stays focused and ready to work. Rudy interrupts.
Okay, we get it. Don't remind me.
Rudy turns away from Nacho and whispers to himself.
I don't want to do this work today. Maybe there is a way to get out of it.
Rudy turns back to Nacho, speaking directly to him.
There is no way we can get all this done today. Maybe if I stop the clock before we start, I can save us some time.
Cuckoo, the mechanical bird, comes shooting out of its trap door, gesturing with his finger to his head how crazy that idea is.
Cuckoo! 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 Cuckoo!
Cuckoo returns back to his trap door as quickly as he entered.
I don't know if procrastinating is such a good idea. I'm just going to get to work.
All right, suit yourself. Once this clock is stopped, I'll have all the time in the world to finish.
Nacho begins unrusting and scrubbing the gears in the living room while Rudy walks to the hour hands. Rudy struggles to move the hands backwards as they continue to click in time.
Done. Gears are clean. Check that off the list. What have you finished, Rudy?
Nothing yet. These arms won't turn back. I will find another way to stop time.
I don't know. Maybe if you just start working, you'd be done faster.
Nah, I'm just gonna keep trying to stop time. Then I'll start my work.
Cuckoo enters through his trapdoor, screeching and gesturing how crazy Rudy is.
Crazy! Crazy!
Cuckoo returns to his trapdoor as quickly as he entered. Nacho begins working even faster, mopping the walls, ceiling, and floors. Rudy picks up a hammer and is trying to break the gears of the clock.
Done. Ceilings, walls, and floor are clean as ever. Check that off the list, too.
Nacho looks at Rudy, who is panting and making no progress.
Rudy, you think maybe you should just start your work instead of putting so much effort into not working?
Once I stop this clock, I'll have all the time in the world to get my work done.
Cuckoo returns from his trapdoor, screeching louder than ever.
You're crazy, Rudy! Crazy!
Rudy whips around and yells at Cuckoo.
Mind your business, Cuckoo! Cuckoo!
Nacho walks over to the face of the clock, pulls out a stepladder, and begins painting over the numbers on the clock, making them look better than ever. Rudy runs over to a set of lockers holding a bunch of grenades.
Okay, maybe if I just blow up the gears, they'll stop ticking, and I'll have all the time I need to get my work done.
Nacho turns around quickly, stumbles but regains balance, and fearfully yells at Rudy. Rudy throws the grenade into the gears.
Are you crazy? Blowing up the gears will...
The grenade blows up and knocks Nacho off of his ladder to the floor. Nacho's ankle is twisted.
Ooh, ruin all the work that was done today.
Nacho and Rudy look around and see all of Nacho's hard work has been reversed. The gears are dirty, the ceiling, walls, and floor need mopping, and the paint job on the clock is now ruined.
Rudy, you just ruined all the work I did today. If you were just starting working, we wouldn't be in this mess. And I wouldn't be so dizzy.
Rudy looks directly at Nacho, feeling ashamed and sorry.
You're right. I shouldn't have procrastinated all day. Hey, don't worry. I'll fix this.
Rudy helps Nacho over to the couch and begins working efficiently and quickly, almost at lightning speeds. Nacho stares at Rudy in disbelief. All of the chores on the to-do list are quickly getting done. Rudy yells at Nacho, fatigued.
Almost done!
Rudy looks up at the broken gears and wonders how he will fix them. Suddenly, he has an idea.
Aha! Light bulb.
Rudy reaches into his pocket.
I know it's in here somewhere.
Finally, Rudy pulls out an actual light bulb.
How in the world is a light bulb going to fix the gears?
Silly Nacho. Just sit back and be amazed.
Rudy takes the light bulb, runs over to a machine, and breaks the light bulb against the machine.
Yeah.
Suddenly, the machine starts moving its gears, and in no time, it spits out brand new clay models of the gears, perfectly replicating the original clock gears.
Oh, I did not know that was there.
Oh, it's just something I've been working on in my spare time.
Rudy smirks.
Nacho, I really am sorry I made you extra dizzy, and I'm sorry for twisting your ankle. Mostly, I'm sorry for not helping out when I should have. You taught me that if you just start doing your work now, or at least have a schedule of tasks to complete, you can get everything done and still have time to chill.
Speaking of chilling, how about you go get me some ice for my ankle?
Rudy looks up at the clock.
I'll give it about 5 minutes.
The end.
Solomon! Solomon!
Yeah.
Thank you guys. That was great.
Excellent. Excellent. Can we get Ty back on, please, if he's not busy destroying the green room?
Now get out of here, Ty! Get out!
What are you doing here, Ty?
That was amazing, everybody. Solomon, I'm watching you laughing along. Did you enjoy it? How did you feel watching this story come to life?
I was reliving a whole ton of memories, so they're just all rushing back to me while I was watching this.
Yeah. Is this and for you? Is this based on a true story? Were you are you somebody that does not want to do your chores?
I am horrible at getting my chores done. I'm just horrible at it.
Yeah, much rather throw a grenade at it, I bet.
Yeah. It would be a lot easier if I could stop time.
Ty, what was it like working with Solomon on this story?
It was awesome. In fact, we were talking about this, rereading the script and just having a flood of these memories. And the one thing I do remember is that Solomon wrote this with the end in mind first, and then kind of wrote it from there.
Oh, okay. So like the idea of like the magical light bulb, and then finding a way backdooring into that's great. That's really exciting. And Solomon, for you, inspiration wise, is it like you just had this idea, or did something happen? Is this, based on something that happened to you, or?
Well, the book, I think that day, like where I really figured out I wanted to do the procrastination thing, I was probably mad at my parents for making me do something. And, and then the clock thing, I might have just done that as an excuse to keep looking up at the clock.
Yeah. Because time is running out. Because that time is running out. When you're procrastinating, that clock is your worst enemy. It was almost lunchtime.
I had every right.
And the only way to keep a clock clean is to have tiny little workers that have to do their chores.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So but what I'm hearing is you didn't first think of the cuckoo character for me and then write a story around that. You wrote the story onto itself, not knowing that I would bring the bird to life, right?
Yeah.
No,
the story's all about cuckoo. Like,
what?
You know what? That's that's where we're gonna end it right there. Boom. Wow. That's it. The story is. I think Solomon said it best when he said the story is all about cuckoo.
Wow.
Huh. He's the most responsible one out of all of them.
Wow.
He keeps everyone in check.
Oh man, this was great. Congratulations, Solomon, Ty, great work. Thomas and Ben and Vera, everybody, great. Let's give them all a round of applause, everybody. You guys can all go chill backstage in the green room. I'm sure Ty has trashed it, but we'll see you in a bit. Now, while everybody's going backstage, I'd like to welcome Esmeralda Vasquez from Young Storytellers and Brittany Little from NBC Universal, who serves on the Young Storytellers Board of Directors, just to give us an update on their programs and how you can support us in this time. Thank you guys for joining. Hello.
Hi, everyone. I'm Esmeralda Vasquez, the School Partner Specialist at Young Storytellers. As many of you know, LAUSD and other school districts across the country are making the decision to keep schools, campuses closed this fall. This means that students will be participating only in online learning. And as a proud daughter of a public school teacher, I know this is the safest thing to do for both teachers and students. This is especially safe decision for Black students and students of color from neighborhoods and schools that suffer from a racist and unequal public education system. It's been nearly 5 months since these young people have had the opportunity to connect with one another or their teachers in a meaningful way. And it may be much longer before it's safe to share a physical space. Thankfully, we at Young Storytellers can support these students and teachers by providing programs that focus on social emotional learning, meaningful connection, and expression for everyone involved. Next month, I will personally reach out to more than 80 school partners to schedule programs for students and virtual trainings for teachers, and I'm very excited about that. It's never been more important for our students to develop and raise the voices, and we're here to give them the tools that they need to do that.
As you can hear, our programs will be even more essential this fall with students isolated at home and lacking the outlets to enable them to connect with one another and to express their creativity. If you liked the story you saw today, if you believe it's important to raise the voices of young people, please consider making a donation to support our programs. And if you'd like to do even more with the same amount of effort, for a donation of $5 a month, only $5, you'll join a very special group of donors called Story Club. $5 might not seem like a lot, but it definitely adds up. If just 10 of you watching right now gave $5 a month, that would mean $600 over the course of a year. And these donations definitely sustain us throughout the year. So join Story Club. It's an easy way to do so much for the students that we reach.
You can also support us by buying Young Storytellers merch. There's some fun stuff in our store. Check it out. It's the perfect way to let everyone know that you are part of our community. I would know. The first time I wore this staffed shirt outside of work at a grocery store, a young storyteller volunteer introduced himself to me. So be a part of our community, make your world a little smaller by buying our merch. And now let's have Jason come back on stage to tell us what we have to look forward to on the next episode of the Story Clubhouse.
All right. So we have a great story lined up for you next week called The Spell. It's about a shy student who uses her witchy powers to overcome bullying from a group of mean girls. You won't want to miss it.
Ooh, I'm excited for that. But if you absolutely have to miss it, you can always check out our website to find coloring pages and previous recordings of the Story Clubhouse.
And as always, thank you to everyone that helps to make this special series possible every week. We so appreciate you.
Also, please hit the like button below, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss a single episode of the Story Clubhouse. And before we wrap it up, let's bring everyone back on stage to say goodbye. Turn those cameras on, everybody. Even you, Ty.
Oh, Ty.
All right. Congrats, Solomon. That was a great story. Well done. Have a great rest of your summer. Thanks to all the actors. Thanks to Ty. Great work, everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All right. And now we can all go backstage while Esmeralda wraps it up.
Yes. Congrats to Solomon. Thank you to all of our wonderful actors. Thank you for everyone for being here. Solomon, keep writing, and Ty, keep mentoring. And before you go tonight, we at Young Storytellers encourage you to keep supporting the Black Lives Matter and anti-racism movements across the world. Many of our students are trapped in a public education system that is racist and unequal, and the divide between predominantly white suburban schools and schools in city centers that serve Black students and students of color has never been more wider. And I say this from experience as someone who has lived and attended in schools in Southeast LA, Atlanta, Georgia, and white suburbia Simi Valley. I've seen and experienced these disparities myself. These disparities are especially true during COVID. Many parents don't have the privilege of staying home and working remotely while also making sure that their kids are logging in and learning in a virtual classroom. So please protest safely, wear a mask, educate yourself on anti-racism, and share what you're learning with your friends and family. Reach out to your elected officials at the local, the state, and national level. Encourage your school boards to diversify their narratives and include more BIPOC voices in their classrooms and for curriculum. And for those of you that don't know what BIPOC stands for, it's Black, Indigenous, and people of color. There are groups of young people nationwide called Diversify Our Narrative that are taking it upon themselves to do this work. Donate to social justice organizations, support Black artists and businesses, call out racism when and where you encounter it, even if it's uncomfortable. This work is uncomfortable and I'm still working on it myself. But this work is and always has been necessary. Stand with us in solidarity with all Black people, Indigenous people, and people of color everywhere. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.
It's the Story Clubhouse.